Welcome back to the session. So in this session, we are gonna see the basics of a PDF make, especially the text changes, and then we'll just in upcoming sessions we'll just start improvising, and then we'll start seeing the use cases in real-time use cases. So before starting, we'll just check as in the previous sessions. We have installed the PDF make, and then we have started the server, and then we just checked all the samples that we have here. We'll just check the server again. So server is started, then code also the same. Before start proceeding further, always have to verify the same version number, or the major version should be the same. So in our case 0.2 our version number. So ensure that when we are looking for a document, we should always have the similar version or the same version. Okay, so that there will not be any differences. If there are any differences, what we can do, always feel free to change whether that the version that we are looking for. If not, look for the latest document, then adjust the code accordingly. Okay, so our goal is to create some working with some samples of text styling, and we can just start scaling up to tables, images, and how this can be used in real time. Let's say generating of visiting cards for each of the employees, or generating of cover letters, or generating of invoices, or come up with automated offer letters, covering letters, so on. So this can be scale it up to in terms of generating certificates. Okay, so this can be used in real time in a different way, because most of the distributable format PDF is one of the most used format when it comes to distributions of documentations. So let's get started. So in this session, as we said, so we are in right now documentation part of it. So I'll just move it to the styling section. We'll go back to the playground, and in this session we are not gonna change any of the code. So the code remains same as it is in the previous session. So we'll be directly playing with the playground itself. If there are any improvements needed, we'll just go back to the code and then we'll adjust it. As far as this session is concerned, so mostly we'll be dealing with in playground itself. Okay, so let's get started. So let's say here I've clicked on basics. So simple PDF. We have some sample PDF that we have, so that we can just take it as a sample, and then we can just try to mimic the sample PDFs here. Before start moving into further steps, so any module that we are learning along the way, always refer the documentations and then look for the possibility. Do not only depend on the tutorial that we are looking for. Let's say if you are learning HTML or CSS, either you might have seen W3 School or some other portal for reference, but take all the tutorials or videos as a initial point, or for a understanding purposes. After that, always go back to official portal and then try to familiarize with yourself with the official documentations, so that it will be helps for a very minute details. So let's start with, I'll try to keep the thing simple right now. So we'll remove the first text, we'll keep it only one paragraph. It's changing into text one. During this part, during the learning part, I'll try to keep that words are kind of continuous serial number, suffix with continuous serial number, so it will be easier to explain what line number I'm talking about. So let's say the text one, or we will consider para one. Yeah, so we have just started with para one. Is there any other alternative way that we can do? So let's go back to PDF make document. Especially my way of suggesting is that most of the time, always keep things simple, and during the testing part, always suffix with numbers, so that it will be easier to convey the informations effectively, so that we need not remember. Do not directly put A B C D X Y Z or A B, something like that. So try to keep it some identifiable and rememberable number, so that we need not to recall anything. We need not to put much effort to recall. Okay, during the learning time. So now there is a one way to represent by just passing simple string. So and in playground it will take a dd as a variable and then it will process. So we can, if you look at here dd, if you go back, so it always call server.js because that is our root service that we are looking for. So what it does, if we do the inspect element right now here, we'll do some changes. Just keep the larger records so that it will be easier. You notice here it is calling /pdf. So the port number that we knew, localhost 1234, that is the port number that we're running. Whenever any change is happening, it is calling /pdf. That is a route. So if you notice here, let's say I'll just minimize a couple of them. So you got the big pictures here. So this point, this is the part that this is the endpoint that you're calling. This is the post one. So it taking up input, so request parameter and response parameter, and from there it take the content body and returning the dd variable. So if you notice here, this is the returning part which is coming from here, this dd. Okay, if you are changing the dd variable in here, and we have to adjust here as well. Okay, for now I'll just keep it as it is so that we need not to go depth on that part, because today's our goal is working with texts and styles and other simple things to get started. Over the time we'll improve the complexity, or will increase the complexity of it. For now let's keep it in straightforward. Now strings, good to go. Then we have another method. So either that key can be a string or key can be an object. So in the previous videos we were seen so many sessions related to objects, how powerful it is, the object part. So the same thing, I'll just do the same thing here. Let's say text, we keep it as para2. Yeah. So as we seen here, or I'll just try to keep it, I'll try to mimic the para one itself again for mimicking purpose. Para 1. If you notice here, line number 5 and line number 6 are remain same, so it represents the same thing. But line number 5 does not have the flexibility to do if you want to, let's say if you want to make a bold or if you want to add a styling, that we cannot do. But whereas in line 6 and 7, because it's an object, you can have the related properties for that text. Let's say if you want to make it a bold, we can pass some property, or we can have some other variable. Okay, so I'll remove the para 1 part here so that we'll just keep it two different styling. First is straightforward string, second one will be an object. Let's say we want to increase the font size of para 2. So let's go back here and then see the example. So always start with the example that is provided by the documentation, so that if there are any other error occurs, so we need not to worry. So do not straight away start implementing when you are learning. So always copy that and just try to see what is happening. And if you want to really see the difference, I'll just make it as 30. Now you can able to see the difference. Once we start learning, once we start comfortable with what we are doing, then it's easier to scale it up in or it's easier to change according to our needs. But without knowing what we're doing, then again it will be very difficult, because every time you have to go back to the documentation and see. Because if the next time when you're coming back, now you have an idea. Here you do not have any scaling part. Here you can scale, because this para can have any number of key value pair, because it's an object, so it can have any number of key value pair. Now we'll see, is there any other key value pair that we can do. So if you notice here, there is no, okay, this also same. So we can have something like style header. So now try to relate this style header, how it relates. So this header and here there is a header. So now these two things are interrelated. Somehow they might have mapped in terms of documentations or in terms of the values that they have provided. So let's say I just attached this part into style. I'll just attach header. And then again, we have to come and notice here. So what is the level of indentation is always important when you are learning something new. Keep the code very clean. So if you look at here, the minimization is happening here. So content is starts in line number 4 and it ends in line number 7. My way of convenience is personally is that, let's say opening bracket is always in the same line, closing bracket where the variable is start or where the line is started. So let's say When we look at line number 8, so this starting is same line as where. So because this is a variable, this is a closing point. For the content, this is the closing point. The para, and for this one we can just keep it in the next line. That is perfectly for easy readability. So now you got a point. So now, as far as the index concerned, content have two values. So index, index 0 and index 1. There are two values. So array always starts with 0, so 0 and 1. Okay, so now we have added a header. Now as we notice here, content and style. So it's in the same level if you notice. So we'll just minimize the content and then we'll just add the style or styles. So this is a plural. Always ensure it's an object, of course. Then we can just take this part, delete that part. Okay. Now what we can do, we'll just this as a third bar, so that it will not disturb the para 3. And then here we are talking about style. Let's say para 3. Para 3, we just, for an example, it can be any value, so make that. So now we have the part. Let's say if we can also directly specify font size, or we can with the help of style we can. Now tell me, or just remember yourself, why do we need this scenario and that scenario? Every time we can directly specify it here. But what if the same header we wanted to use multiple times? Let's say each section will have the header and you might wanted to repeat the same style. Then when we really wanted to change something, let's say font size has been changed to 22 to 24, then what we have to do, we have to change all over the place. So the reusability is more important, so that is why we will be using style. So let's go back and then try to, is there anything done? So bold can be done. Bold we have tried, font size we have tried. Is there any other property that helps us to add it? So there is something called alignment. There is something called font feature, line height, bold, italics, alignment, spacing, color, background, marker color, decoration style, decoration color. We'll just try the italics. Always start with the familiar area that you're at. So this is supposed to be bold, and also font size is, let's keep 40. Yeah, so font now we'll try to see whether bold is applied. The bold is not applied. When you apply the bold, okay, so you can able to see the difference. So again I will change it to false. Again I will change it back to true. Yeah, you got an idea. Now we'll try an alignment. It just starts scaling it up. So let's say what are the type of alignment that we have. Alignment, either it can be left, or it can be center, or it can be right, or it can be justified. Okay, we'll just start with center. So because it's a title, we want it to center. Now let's say if you want to, sometimes you might want the title as right side, we'll just place right, then left, as it is. This is the default one. What about justify? Okay, but you don't see any difference in the justify part, right? We'll take an example and then we'll try to see how that differs. For now I'll just keep it as simple. Now we'll also try to add some color. Let's try red. Red. Now if you wanted to do some decorations like either it can be underline or some sort of things, so let's try underline. Again, underline can have the value of underline, line through, or overline. Let's say try for line through. See, it's a strike or overline. You can always try it out, all the similar examples, so that when you have a requirement, you need not come you can directly come to this document and then you can adjust the parameters. But at least you have to visit once, so that at least visually you have to visit or imagine yourself what are the places that you can utilize this part. Okay, now let's see the background. Okay, we'll try to take a light background. So let's pick this background, gray or something like that, or let's try with just I'll pick some pages. I'll just put color IFF, just adjust the color. I'll pick some light, just pick this color and do it back here. So as you can see here, the background color is applied. Okay, so and let's say we'll take character spacing. What is that character? For each character, how much with that we want to improve? Yeah, increase. Let's say 3. Let's try for 10. Try for 20, so that you can easily see the difference. You got an idea. I'll just come on this part. Not one. No, I don't. Not climb. Stuff red. I'll just keep it blue. Okay, so you got an idea. Now, if you have a queries like all these property, will it work here? Right. No problem with that. I'll just copy all these property. One thing I'll just add 4 and I paste it here. And all. It will work here also. As you can see, para 3 is depending on style. Para 4 is directly hard coded. Will it work this? Yes, it will work. Line will work, background will work, character spacing will work. No problem with that. You got an idea. I'll just do all the things. Just keep it. And now we'll go back and then try to. You can explore the same way. You can explore other. Right. Let's see. Let's pick an example and then try to do some real stuff. I'll just copy this part. Keep it aside. Okay. Now we'll come back. Then we'll just click on back to the samples. We'll take a sample and then we'll try to. So I have some sample PDF here. So there is a title. There is some text. So this is a A4 sheet and there is one more page that we have. So there are 2 pages. Now we have one more complexity. So one is how can I make another page for the page 1 page 2. So now this is some real-time example that we are taking it up. I'll just take this as a point. So do we need to do any styling? Yes, of course we need to do. The same kind of similar titles are there. So as we see in the last example, whenever we have a similar property that we wanted to follow up in other places, then always suggested to go ahead with styles. The same way, we have some set of styles here. The same set of styles followed here. So this is also what we can do. We have to keep it in the separate style. Okay, so when we wanted to add a complexity, so always start with what? Because if you put some plain text like this, we cannot add any style. If you want to do some styling, if you want to add some more customization to the text, then we always go with the second method of it. What is the second method? First method is straightforward string. Second method, we can use the text property as an object. Okay. So now let's copy this line and then just paste it here as a second paragraph. Okay. But if you notice here, here we might want it to have multiple lines, like each para will have one set of 2 lines, right? Let's say if I copy paste this line, these 2 lines, there is a problem with the copying. So what I'll do is just copy whole, go back here and then just, so what are the lines over there? Just an text or one paragraph and it start with and then end with some more text, some more. How can I say here? These are the 4 different paragraphs. As you can see here, line numbers start with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Previously, it was like we just undo. It was 8 lines, but technically it was 4 lines that we are expecting. So because it's only 4 paragraphs, so we just change back into 4 paragraphs. We'll copy each paragraph, and then we'll just place it. Okay, first paragraph is already done. And second paragraph. And we'll go for third paragraph. And we'll go paragraph. So here we have 4 paragraphs for 4 lines, and then 1 is for title. Okay, but now here we wanted to add it as a header style, so we'll just change it to text, and we'll add the style name as, let's say, title. Okay, so perfect. Now we'll just style in the same level. Notice here I'm trying to keep it indentations. So column. So if you notice here, whenever I'm opening any bracket, I'm immediately closing it and then going back. Okay, so now let's title, then again open it and then close. Then let's say we can use font size. What could be the font size? Let's say 30, for example. Good to go. Now we'll do the bold. Perfect. So now this is good to go. If there any padding bottom is needed, that we can add for now, or we'll add margin. Margin will always start with left, top remain 0, right 0, bottom will be 10. Let's say if you want to check how that works, can you see that there is a bottom. Back to 10. Now we have learned one more property for now again we have to change this into again one more set of data, so that it will adjust one by one. So just now we need to change this part. Sorry, what I'll do some immediate adjustment VS Code. Here I'll just use multi-cursor. I'll explain this one in later sessions. For now, same time. Just start with text. This is the text, and then I need the style. Let's say this is a para. After that, I need the closing bracket. After that, come up. Cut it and then we'll paste it again. Last one. Any other issues? Some issue. Not check all things. Here I go. Is correct. So now we have the data. Then whenever we are putting spacing, then we will try to come back and then try to explore. See, there is one way of doing other things, like you can just supply text as an array of text again. And each text can be a string, or again it's an object. So it's not a problem that we can feel free to adjust. We can just also adjust the line height. There is a property called line height. We need the line height. We'll try to see the line. And I hope you can able to see the what is line height? Each line will be one height. This is the property not we are looking for the property of for each paragraph we need the space. Perfect. Hey, congratulations. So we have done the first part. But what about the next page? Okay, now you have the query. The similar way in later point in time, either in this session or in some other session, this might be support or might not be support. Okay, what will I do if I'm in this place? I wanted to create a new page after this. Let's say you have a scenario, first page only contain this, but if you put another text, let's say I'll just then I'll just text para 5. But if you notice here, para 5 is not coming in the next page, because what we are looking for is the next page. Let's say I'll just place it here. Okay, but what we are looking for here is we need this in a different page. Let's say I'm looking for the same style. Okay, I'll apply the style, no problem with that. Style is game, no issues. But this is not the result which we are looking for. We are looking for something, it has to come in the new page, right? We'll copy, this is one paragraph, so we'll just copy it. Okay, that'll come out. But the thing is that this is not what we are looking at. We are looking for something, it has to go to new page. Now if you have the idea, like if you have gone through the document, then you will have some idea. So let's say you as you've seen here, there is no such thing called messages, etc. So let's say go back to column. I hope there is nowhere related to looking for. There could be a possibility. So just try to see, is there any other things that we are that is talking related to pages? Okay, so is it talking related to pages? No, this is no. Header and footer, there could be a possibility, because header and footers are involving each page only. And background layer, there could be a possibility. Margin, there could be a possibility. Stack of paragraph, maybe. Images, no. SVGs, no. Links, no. QR code, no. Table of contents, watermark, maybe. But surely might not. Page dimensions, preferably, might be there. Document meta, possibly. Pattern, we don't know. Compression, we don't know. Encryption, we don't know. So there, now what we can do, just eliminate the that we are not comfortable with. Just the table surely might not be there. So just go to headers and footer. Try to see, is there any header and footer? No, nowhere related to that. What we can do, we'll just move on background layer. Surely it will not be there. Okay, so now we'll go for margins, maybe or may not be. So margins not there, so only the simple thing. So stack of paragraph, no. Images, no. SVGs, no. Links, no. QR code, no. Table of contents, no. Watermarks, no. Maybe this could be possibility. We might or might not have. Yes, we have. So here, if you notice here, we can also specify the page size, page orientations, margins, etc. And if you notice here, there is something called page break. This is what we are looking for. But what we are looking for is, let's say, after this paragraph, we have to open a new page. Right? So we can use page break after, because I have already gone through this part, so I might have familiar. So what you can always do, just to go through the portion, then you can easily familiarize. So now this is page break after. But sometimes you might have a scenario that you can't able to utilize. What we will do, so whenever the simple PDF2 is coming, here you can add a property like before. So this also will work. Okay, so now we got a part. So we have created a simple file. It works perfectly fine. I hope you have some idea to explore different section and then how to approach a documentation. Let's say if you want to check the page size, you can. So the page size possibilities are from this portion to this portion. So let's try for I hope what is A4, A3 and all you might because real time we might have frequently using it A4, A3, A3 sheet or A4 sheets. So we'll just go for a default A4. So we'll just pass these numbers and try to see what is the value. A5. We'll try for A3. The page size are increased. A2, it will find even more increased. A1, we go for A4, normal one. A5, again it's a smaller size, so the default one will just keep it fast. A4. You got an idea. So why I have placed page sizes and the main level, because we are talking about document definition. Document definition is the DD1 that we are looking for, because we are playing with the playground. Sometimes similar playground might be available for your module that you're looking for, or might not be available. Okay, in that case, always look for a word like demo, live, examples, sandbox mode, or some sort of things. You can see similar words in the documentation. So first go to that document and then try to see what really suits for you, what is your need. Okay, before start working on the module. Always before starting any modules or any package that you're looking for, always try to see the packages, how effectively you can utilize it. Because if the package that you're using, that is not even 10% 5% of the packages only is used effectively, then you might always look for the lightweight packages rather than just importing the bulk modules or the packages. After that, reducing it's very complex. Okay, let's say maybe you might heard about load as or movement JS for date time handling, load as for manipulations. Sometimes we might have called for only few functions. We might have got through with the help of Stack Overflow or some places. Then they might have suggested, then you might have just installed the packages and then just used only one function, because that package's purpose of that package is the vast, because there are so many functions they try to solve in the single packages. If the package is not effectively utilized, then try to import more specific module so that it will not be heavy during the production part. Okay, perfect. So now our goal is to just create a size. So there is a width, there is a height 1050, then height is 100. So we'll try to see. Now again I'm copying this part and just keep it aside for reference. Just go back and I get reset it. So we'll come back to the same 0. So always feel free to learn to delete the code, so that you're not attached too much on what we did so far. So it's easy to recreate. Only thing when you are deleting, always remember that this can be recreated. The only thing it takes some time, that's it. But always keep a copy so that nothing to lose. So here we can set a size. So because we are on the same page, we'll just take a page copy, try to put the page size. In our case, the size will be 1000. Okay, then height will be 600. Okay, so we got the card. So now let's try to minimize it so that you can see this outcomes. Okay, so now we need the complete background of PDF as what? Complete background as kind of blue or kind of things, right? We'll just pick the color. There is a color. We'll copy the color. We'll try to see that can be possible with not here playground. So we'll see, is there anything like background for the page? Oh, seems like it is not there. How we can do that now? Okay, let's see, is there any background layer? Yes, we have a background layer. Of course, we can utilize it. So there is a background. We'll try to see what can be done. So there is a background. So in the main level, background. Okay, so it is not applying as like a background. So what it does, it just attaching it as a background text. But what we are looking is background color. Now we'll try to see, is there anything that Possibly, maybe, or may not be. No idea. Okay. Seems like that is not possible. What we can do now? Very bad. Okay. We'll try to explore. The same problem will come in your real-time projects. So when we are dealing with such a thing, we always have these issues, similar issues. So we always have to, just go depth. What are the places that you can utilize effectively? And then based on that, you can adjust. Okay, so background layer does not helping because it is not taking it up. Maybe we can just place a box or some sort of things that we can place it, or we'll just do the simple Google search. pdfmake page background color. Okay, fill the column background color. No, we are not looking for background color through the PDF file. Fill column background color pdfmake. Styling. This is not layer. Background simple. No, what we are looking for is something different. Okay, let's set the background color and padding text of blah blah blah. Okay, background image. Okay, we can set it as image. Okay, we'll see what they are trying to do. So table, they are trying to play something. There is no borders, nothing. Default style, alignment is center. Okay, we are not looking at that. Maybe we'll try the default style. There is something called default that is inside a style. No, not inside. Okay, so when we say default style, that is applied for paragraphs. Background color maybe, so nothing will work. This is not what we are looking for. We are looking for something. So we'll try to see. Is there any other way of doing it? Embedding background image. Okay, we'll just try to pick an image. Or we know that our image size allowed. What we'll do, we'll take and we'll export it. I'll export it, then we place it inside the public folder as blue -bg. Now it is done. We'll go back, then try to include as a background. So this is a background that we can supply. So we can pass it as an image, correct? And we pass it as an image background layer. Go back and see what can be. Page orientation, page number. Okay. Background color, background image. Okay. We can pass some array of object. Maybe if we do the image like this, then look. Image and then we can specify the width and height. We know the width. Okay, so the image will be like image name that we code public blue.png. Something is wrong with that. Slash. Yeah, perfect. The only thing we have to adjust the width and height. So what I will do, we'll just keep it as constant pages, because we are trying to access the same value twice, so we don't want to hard code both the places. So just keep it as variable, so that if you adjust somewhere, it will adjust both the places. Take this one with and same here, 8 height. Okay, so we got an idea. Now we need the text as yes. Now we need as some styling. So what we'll do, as usual, we'll just wrap it as text and we'll pass. Same way. Pass on the second text. It's called as. Now we can add the styling here. Styles, object, then we are talking title. Now we are opening any bracket, always close it. Then we are talking about color will be white. This color is white. Okay, then we want the font size, let's say 40. Okay, perfect. And bold maybe, can adjust what. And we need it in center. We don't want this in alignment. Enter. Okay, perfect. Now we'll do the same thing. Only thing, font size might be different. Font size will be, let's say 30. Enter remains same, no bold. Text color remains same. Is there any problem with that? Comma is okay, title okay. Okay, but we'll just reduce still size. So now we need to bring this into middle and middle of the page. So the easiest way to do this, because let's say you can use margin, padding or some sort of things. Okay, I think here in pdfmake there might be limitations to bring that in middle. So in this case, we'll try to take the height of the page and then we'll just do the minus part. Let's say height of the page, so we'll just adjust it with the help of margin. As I said, so the first parameter is left, top, and right, then bottom. So we want to adjust the top. So the top is coming as the second parameter. Let's say I'll just put 40 for now. 0, then 0. Then again come noise missed. Okay, so now increased, if you notice. Let's put page height. Page height divided by 2. Okay, but the thing is that page height is divided by 2. The starting part is correct, but this has one height, right? The height could be minimally font size 40, then there'll be 20. I mean, there'll be 20, so it will be something like around 60. So page height is minus around some 60 by 2. Okay, so now we have a little bit, so I think this we have to adjust. 100 is not exactly 60. We can do something. Okay, so you got an idea. Now if you want to increase the padding or margin bottom, let's say here's something. So this will be a left, then top, right, and then bottom. Bottom is the last one. So let's say 20. Now this 20 has to be adjusted here also. Yes, now we bring, maybe if you want to increase this, let's increase. We increase to 60, 70, something like that. Then this will be remain 30. Okay, now we'll just adjust this to, okay, we got an output. Try to minimize the card. Or we can make this to next page. Here we can put on one more page, something like, let's say page break after. When we put after, then another page will be created. So as simple as that. So now we have 2 pages. The second page we can improvise it, and we can add the content as we need it. Okay, we'll see the other sessions. We'll just increase the complexity. We'll add images. I think we have included images, but we'll just improvise how we can access it if it is in a remote URL web, other areas. Thank you.